I mean, I think pretty sure he's one of the youngest players in this event as well. And of course, you've got the likes of Rollin and Mouse as well, who have also incredibly experienced. And Rollin, I think, very recently did trial for Gamer Legion, which of course is one of the teams that did make it through to the RMR. But we're underway in DUST2 for our first BO1 of the day. And already some frags have come in. They've tried to take long. Have Team Edward. They've been successful with it, but they have lost a couple of players with that. So they are only playing with Boros today, again, by the looks of it, as we were just bigging up Marilki there, unfortunately, Squiv. But Boros was playing yesterday, and I believe he is playing again today. But you mentioned Endpoint. Boros, of course, is an ex-Endpoint player, so there you go.
Well, there you are. Maikelele must have some decent...
What goes around comes around.
Endpoint. Maybe Endpoint have stolen him away. So indeed, they've got Boros Mouse. Lovely little round. There you go. It was, as you would expect in the early stages, a big scrappage. Open-ended, not much utility out from the T side, and yeah, those USPs are just going to run rampant, aren't they, when there's no threat of a flash or a smoke to make life awkward.
Indeed. And yeah, I think, well, obviously before the game got underway, we were just talking about Rollin as well. I believe I actually had an opportunity to cast some of his matches up against some of the teams in the RMR Open Quals when he was playing with Gamer Legion, that new roster that they're forming with Shui and Aiko, of course, two former Mouse players that have played in the Academy roster and the main roster. And I believe as well that the most impressive thing about that is that he actually played quite well. Unfortunately, the trial period didn't work out, and he got replaced by Kios, the Falcons player, who's now going to be on that Gamer Legion roster. But still, he played well, so looking forward to seeing how he plays today. XM Shotgun that he's brought out as well. The best gun in the game, by far, clearly. Can't wait to see that one work out.
Perhaps a controversial opinion early in the afternoon. Yeah, I mean, I'd say it's pretty... Maybe not on DUST2. But you can see he's in lower tunnels. It's pretty much the only area that you're going to get good usage out of it. Boros having a field day. They are on that force buy. It's not really gone all that well for Edward. And speaking of, here's the captain. Can't find a head. And a flawless round. So a pretty solid start from Maikelele's squad here.
Yeah, very nice. And we mentioned beforehand, didn't we, that I personally thought that Edward's team was one of the best teams in this event, with the mix of ridiculous experience of Bondic and Edward, and then the three youngsters who we mentioned earlier, DemQ, Waro2k, both going to the RMR with Monty, with Benched Heroes, sorry, I believe. So yeah, it's pretty sick for them. And at the moment, of course, Maikelele is off to a fantastic start. The scout headshot was what he got as well through mid doors up against Waro2k. Probably his nemesis in this game. Wouldn't surprise me if they both give us a bit of a sniper duel in the duration of this BO1. But now it's time for those snipers and that M4 to eat up these pistols. And Mouse is doing a great job of that. Clean third headshot. And leaves Edward top mid to try and get at least one. He does get at least one. Looking for two, but he runs out of ammunition, and Boros will clean up for another frag for him. So there's a clean 3-0 start.
Love to see it. What do you reckon? We had the interview with Maikelele, and he said that he's moving away from the AWP and hoping to sort of IGL. I don't know. At the moment, you know, no official HLTV squad that he's in.
No.
May well be still playing in his ESCAs, etc. But what do you reckon about that one? A bit of a reinvention.
Yeah, I think for that sort of player who's getting on a bit, I think he'll be the first to admit that. That's the sort of two things that you can really sort of stick around and make yourself valuable in a team, right? You can either be an AWPer or an IGL. And I think IGLs, of course, are, especially players with that amount of experience, are highly sought after in Counter-Strike, to be honest. So if he can still put up a decent amount of numbers, I mean, we've seen that, you know, Hooksy can easily IGL G2 to victory if his team puts up good numbers. So if Maikelele can find himself a good group of players, then who knows?
Well, a slower start here. We do have a cushion towards the flash coming round. It's perfect. Oh, a dink for Boros. That is unlucky. That is very unlucky indeed. I mean, they've got the one man here on the Edward squad, but the HP looks pretty shaky. So really got to be careful. These A1Ss that are in play especially. I mean, we've got a bonus out, right, with the MP9 and the Scout. It's a bit cheeky, but the A1Ss through smoke, they can do an awful lot of damage if you're not careful.
Yeah, and the amount of damage that's been done early on already is a tough one for Bondic and MQ, and look at that, Edward's been tagged as well, just like that. It's now a very tough situation. They have the man advantage, but realistically, the HP is not in their favour at all. Might resort to a B play, and Devilwalk's got the line close toward those tunnels, and he does get himself one, but only one. Jakey trades him immediately, and of course it's important to have one of those high health players in there to trade these low HP guys. Headshot angle being played with by Royal 2K, but Ryland still finds it. Time is an issue, as you say. 4 seconds, they try and deny it, and Bondic still gets the kill.
No way.
In the end, I think they win through time alone, if I'm not mistaken there. There you go, bomb wasn't planted, so they had to go for kills there. They had no other choice.
That's mental. That is mental. I mean, 2, maybe even just 1 second being the difference.
Yeah.
Love to see it. Very unlucky for Team Maikelele, but, you know, the thing is as well, and I don't want to comment on it too much, but we're already sort of seeing where it's like the sort of more normal meta, let's say, or pug level kind of meta.
Yeah. I mean,
3-1-1 sort of fallen out a bit.
The one thing that I think would be good about this DUST2 is we're not going to be seeing too many saves, I feel like, because B sites are difficult to retake. We're going to see people attempt the retakes. Let's go.
We'll see here, because it looks like they are setting up for it, but also the sort of go lower tunnels, get the hinge smoke down, some variation of it.
Yeah.
Sit on short for a minute, and then go A. I think, unfortunately, that is maybe what we're going to see now, but that's how DUST2 can function, especially at the mid-level. Nice find from Jakey. Okay. Edward as well. It's a bit more exciting. It's not just a trickle smoke, so we'll see. They will call it off for a second. Once again, the HPs are against them. They have the manpower. Bondic with that frag, pretty massive. Ryland now, a lot to do.
Oh.
And yeah, we've got cheeky little plays like this that you don't normally see at the high level. That's a hell of a flick from Maikelele. Ryland, however, there's a player that's crept above him. It's going to get a bit weird out here. Maikelele will go down, and well, Ryland just trying to stay hidden. Bomb going down. Tries for the old Kugli. He can't get it. Mollied out here, and surely between the two of them, they should be able to take him down. They will indeed. And the rifle's looking good.
Yeah, indeed. And that reminds me, I did a very quick BA1 qualifier match on HLTV the other day. I think it was Ganginio from Iron Branch, which the team Jakey is on. And I think he was the AWPer, and he jumping no-scope someone from that particular position, of course, the Kelly position, with the AWP. To get a very important retake, it turned out to be against Habu in the end. But, yeah, just to correct myself earlier, I did say benched heroes. I said Monty first. I was correct the first time. Of course, these guys are on Monty. We are seeing some players, of course, in action who will be on benched heroes later on today. And they're trying to do a contact B play here. They realise it's pistols. They don't want to use too much utility, and Edward gets 2 headshots. Forest and Devilwalk both go down, and then they both get themselves into the site very cleanly, with Mouse and Maikelele to follow. So, very well done. Maybe taking an old leaf out of some old strap books there. If you're against pistols, don't use too many smokes, because smokes just give the enemy a chance to play around them and be cheeky. Always that to consider.
Them smokes, man. Gotta watch yourself. Okay. So, Maikelele, we probably need them to find a return here, in all honesty. Edward and the boys are off to a bit of a flying start once the guns have come out. And I'd assume, especially in a game like this, usually apply that old rule that pistols can be a bit random. But I think, indeed, when there's a sort of lack of strategy, it is exactly the case. Boros going to have the good spawn here. Maikelele in with that A1S as they find 2. The long hit completely fails out there for Team Edward. Yep. And it will be a 2-man advantage just like that.
Just like that. Do you remember back in the day, Scriv, that obviously when Maikelele was on some of the top teams in CSGO, I think quite a number of my friends chose to add the le bit at the end of their name. It was very common back then.
Yeah, I feel like we all went through phases. I went through a little bit of a IWNL, you know,
of course,
my boy Brax.
Yes. Legendary.
What else have we had? There's plenty, isn't there, of, like, you know, Meister, I guess, probably at one point as well, to be fair.
Definitely. Yeah. Some dinks exchanged there in mid to the edge of the wall. And it continues to do way more damage, and Boros is now flanking from top mid, so not much Edward's team can do about this round. 2 more kills for Boros. Make that 3 in total. He's now up to 8 already. He's looking very solid, is Boris so far. And I would say that Boris himself is a player that has been pretty highly sought after, I would say. Ever since his performances on Endpoint, he's been one to watch. And Endpoint had some great results, of course, recently without him. But I think if they still had him, they would be perhaps even more of a force to be reckoned with, because he is a quality player. But yeah, it's interesting to see where he will go in the future as well. As we said, we had a little bit of chat about Milky, who did play a couple of the opening games, but Boris is now replacing, I believe, maybe because he has some other occupations to deal with, perhaps. And that is a lovely guess there from Ralden. They try and go for a boost with the AWP of Warrior 2K above the smoke into tunnels, and unfortunately for him, he's punished for it.
Alright, I'm looking forward to this. I feel like we've got a bit of a DUST2 on our hands. 1 for 1 so far. Ralden watching for any support coming up. Beautiful stuff, Edward. Well, he knows this area all too well, doesn't he? See whether we can find anything from here. Oh, okay.
Nice.
That's a hell of a flick on the jump spotting Maikelele. And here we go once again. The round back open. He was sort of the only A-site defender, but Ralden is running interference so effectively down towards short. They're going to get the bomb down. They don't have that manpower, right? Devil Walk as well. I don't know whether he'll necessarily be considered now. It is all about the timing. Do have 1 kit available. Flash coming in for the big man Devil Walk to come round that corner. Can't spot anything just yet. Time is working against them here. 25 seconds remain, so they do need to get a bit of a step on. And 1 player on the site going to be noticed out. Devil Walk's naded himself. Devil Walk's naded himself. Edward with the trade. And now it's a 1v1. They're both so damn low, but Mouse will get it done. Thank goodness to the embarrassment. Devil Walk, what has happened? I'm not sure if we catch it, but
oh no.
I think he'll be happy that we didn't.
It's almost more comedic that we just see it in the kill feed rather than what actually happened.
Just sort of, you know, randomly while all the carnage is going down, Devil Walk's juggling with grenades.
Incredible.
That's hilarious.
Incredible stuff. But there we are. It happens to the best of us sometimes. We see it at every level. Mistakes can be made.
Contacting in. Ralden. Again, looking good from this position. Not able to find anything, but he's back in for more. And if he pushes through, he might find them all ready and waiting in the tunnels area. We've also got Edward with somewhat of a lurking presence. Oh, Ralden trying to just sneak in. Finds one. Will he get traded out? Spots another jumping around. Not quite sure what Edward's plan is here. He's just maybe trying to fake or something. They are just relaxing at the moment. Where's this bomb going to end up? Looks like, again, a lower play. Boris with the double spray down. That's the bomb drops as well. And yeah, not a chance here in this half bite. Very solid stuff. As they will all fall. Not a single player goes down for Team Maikelele. So starting to streak ahead now, Trav.
Exactly. And actually, Edward, is the man himself, is leading the way for the T-side boys. Needs to have his youngsters step up a little bit, I would say, in the next few rounds, because they can't let Team Maikelele get away. Of course, BO1s, if you let a team get away, you could be in trouble. There's not much chance for a rebuttal. And of course, as we said, Maikelele currently unbeaten his side in this event so far. Edward is 3-1 at the moment. Look at Ralden, straight up mid, maybe taking a leaf. Some of the Pro League teams' book from yesterday. Complexity loved doing this against Astralis, just up mid constantly. And in the end, though, Bondic will be aware of it and will punish him. So, Bondic more aware than Astralis were yesterday. Incredible.
Well, who'd have thunk? Back into a 3-on-3, though, with that trade frag. Let's see how it pans out. You're up down middle. Maikelele spots the top of the head, but can't find the frag. At the very least, it's a bit of information down. He's retrieved himself a spare smoke as well. Lovely stuff. That makes his way towards tunnels. Now, unfortunately, my guy, they are going long. Got an off angle here from Mouse. Bit of a risky one. Does lose his head, and even then I was going to say it's maybe just a one and done. Devil Walk out in the open. Doesn't respect their pacing, and now it's Maikelele, captain, to clutch up against 3. He's in nice and fast. Here's and moving around. Player up above him, though, and he will end up going down. Team Edward back on the board.
It's one of those rounds where he has a kit as well, and you think, oh, if he can just get this one quick scope on the player who's going to be peeking first, we were just advancing above the boxes there, then it would be, it would certainly be worth it. Worth a try. Something magic could happen. And we'll try and get through this entire cast without saying rolling back the years. In an official sentence, at least.
It's gonna happen.
I know. I refuse to say
I get what
it.
you mean. There's like a little.
There's too many
clutch or
opportunities
whatever.
for it.
It's right there. It is right there. It's a bit difficult to avoid. There you go. Flash towards middle. Maikelele. Made in hand. They're going to go for the all mid to B split by the looks of things and be able to find something with it. Maikelele trying to chill above. Smooth moves. It's actually just going to go rolling through the smoke, so fair enough. Oh, nice find on the player up close. I thought he might have been caught off, you know, spamming away there. Can be a bit risky, but not going to happen. Edward goes down. Demq's being tagged. This looks like a pretty good spot for Team Maikelele to be in.
Yeah, 5v4. Edward recovered the previous to, as I said, not let Maikelele's roster get away. Now it looks like we're going to have a little bit of an A push coming in. Up through elbow, a boost above the smoke perhaps, to get Warrior 2K's AWP in action. Looks for a Devil Walk on the ramp. I think he's aware of that being a possibility. But now we'll fall back off of it. But they are going to keep a couple of players around this position. Devil Walk's under a bit of pressure. Jumping no-scopes coming in from Maikelele and CT, but the damage done by Maikelele helps out Devil Walk, and he's going to get himself all 3! Look at that! The coach extraordinaire showing up with a triple kill. Wonderful stuff.
Big up. I do remember for the longest time his name was Devil Walk Majors 1, Simple Majors 0.
Of course, the classic name.
Every time he'd jump on the server. Good little laugh about that. But now, of course, he can't do that anymore.
Well, now you can say, like, Nico instead or something.
True, that's true. That is true.
Who would you say is the most decorated player not to, like, currently in play? I mean, there's Guardians, an obvious one that obviously we're going to have in this event, but
sure.
Would you say Nico's the most obvious pick now as a player who hasn't won a major? One of the best players.
Yeah, well, I mean, to be fair, and this is a bit savage, but he's not won an awful lot of anything, really. You know what I mean? In the past, it's always been sort of the stats numbers and the team's not quite been there, and then yeah, that run.
I don't disagree.
2020 to the end of 21, where we had a lot of finals made, but not. So yeah, I'd probably say because the NBA one's like Charles Barkley, isn't it? The best to never get a ring or whatever. Yeah. If I'm correct, I'm not the biggest NBA fan, but I see clips of him and Shaq like ripping into each other.
I can do analogies of like niche sports like Formula One, and well, not Formula One isn't really niche anymore, but like snooker and stuff. Like I mean, we had a chat about that the other day, didn't we? I think one of them we could say maybe Jimmy White. Would that ring a bell for you? Of course, one of the best players ever, never to win the world championship. Got to like 3 finals, never won. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. There you go. Yeah. Fair.
Classic
that's a good one. That is a good little. I'd say snooker's relative, especially to an American audience.
Very niche.
You know? Yeah.
They only know like 8-ball pool and stuff like that.
Well, indeed. They call it billiards, don't they?
Billiards, of course. Yeah.
Terrible
God.
stuff. This one looks like it might be a bit of an anticlimactic finish, Trav, because we've got 3 players with the bomb out long, and there's no one on A. Maikelele have maybe taken a risk at it being B. We do have the AWPer watching the cross, though, so you never know. Craziness could occur. We've got a run boost, and it... Oh, God! Maikelele's actually going to find a couple and sort of open the round back up. There's only 10 seconds. Bomb will go down cleanly enough. Ooh, or will it? Big nade from Rarlan takes down Demq, and now there's no time. What a turnaround coming in. Maikelele with the flicks to make the round doable. And of course, Rarlan with the clean finish. Oh my goodness, that could be a massive round as well, because look where the money's at.
Yeah, that's huge. What a great way to win that round solely through the HE. Dealing with the player looking to go plant the bomb. Maikelele grabbing 2 on the cross as well. Even with that run boost coming in, seeing that frag from his POV must have been a pretty sexy one. But yeah, also there was a moment where I thought this round was definitely over, where Maikelele's squad, I think it was Ralan, checked B tunnels, but didn't actually find Woro2K lurking in there. In the end, the fact that he didn't find him meant that he ran back towards short to throw the grenade, hilariously. So that led to that round-winning grenade. Can you believe it? But already Edward are fighting back with a vengeance, with 2 picks coming in immediately in the following round.
Back with a vengeance, indeed. Looking for a bit more. DemQ. Mid, there's the up shot, there's the finish. Wonderful stuff. A great little play off the back of each other. Gonna get that smoke down and maybe even make their way over towards B with a 2-man advantage now. Player on the backside does find Devil Walk on the edge of that smoke. Miles, they know where he's at, and he will fall. That's a hell of a response. Edward getting up to 5, that all-important 5, especially on the T side. And like I say, immediately answering back is great for morale, but also the cash. We love talking about the money in CSGO.
Indeed, that is a very important recovery from Edward's squad, and we're heading toward the possibility of an 8-7 here. Oh, we're also heading toward the possibility of getting knifed in the back, and that's just happened. Ralan has been literally stabbed in the back by a teammate, with a right click as well. Always the worst thing that can happen. He's got 40 health to keep him through to the next round. Okay, Boros is going to go aggressive toward tunnel again, and we'll deal with Jakey. He's been clean as anything, as Boros so far this morning.
Edward on the creep. He's been loving this, hasn't he? The short play we've got.
Again, yeah.
A lot of presence in towards middle. That is getting CSGO'd somewhat. It is definitely an expected play, and he's not blind, but god damn it, his barrel came through the wall. When are we going to fix this, guys?
Valve, please fix.
Honestly. Devil Walk also falling is probably going to secure the round here for Team Edward. I don't think they will go for the save. I'm kind of in autopilot mode, expecting a save to come out. But no, of course, they're in the thick of it. They're in the mixer.
We love it.
Especially with low HP player. The boost could be a pretty genius idea here if Boris can figure his way onto the boxes. Love this. Down goes the bomb. 30 seconds, 6 HP on Edward. This is very doable all of a sudden. Oh, not again. Unbelievable. Smoke's gone down. Surely not for bonding.
It's happened again.
Magic.
Oh my goodness. That is such an incredible recovery. That boost was brilliant. And for Boris to be the guy to be boosted up there as well, it was just perfect timing. He's been the main man in this BO1 so far. Couple of rounds that Team Edward will feel like they should have won. Should have been a bit closer. They won't be unhappy with 5 on T side. I would feel like the sort of Counter-Strike in these sort of events can be a little bit CT side even more than otherwise. But still, that is a magnificent recovery. And for the final round of the half, we have the Scout and Woro2K. That's all you can manage to muster up. Rollin is on the XM again though, so you never know. Bit of a 50-50 round, I would say, still.
Big man Michael over on the A-bomb site. Gonna need a kill here before going down. He loses his head to Waro. And they've got cross smokes. Oh, goodness. Very scary indeed. Ralan.
Come on,
mate.
mate.
Even scarier, though.
Let's go.
XM 1014. A Valve classic. I reckon it's been in every iteration of a Valve game, I think. Either way, boost comes in, another bomb drop. For goodness sake, these boosts are so annoying, aren't they? Say Team Edward, as Miles is going to get another. And now, Edward on the flank, going to have to go large. That is a crispy onto the first one, gets himself a second.
There we go.
And he's put the round back into contention.
Boros and Devil Walk, and now only Devil Walk, looking to 1v3 this one. Gets the first order Edward on that lurk, and now he needs to find 2 more. Bomb not yet planted, it's being attempted right now by DemQ. He'll hear it. He'll go for some shoulder peak taps as well, but now of course he has been spotted out, and that's 2 tags from Woro2K Scout. I think he's very much aware that that is the possibility. He tries to creep in, Woro2K rips his head off with a 3K. to finish off the half. So 6 on the board for Team Edward. Really not that bad at all, considering they had so many advantages and lost them so many times. The boosts coming back to bite them. But as it is, that's a pretty even half.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you know, we're, I suppose, expecting things to go that way as well. Relatively close, relatively well-matched teams, it feels like. So we'll see here, I think. Should be good fun getting into that second half. The pistol, the difference. We do have a few small technical issues, but we got the halfway highlight package, so that's good.
Exactly. Edward's important frags on the mid-lurk from the previous round, which recovered that round back into their favour again. That one was quite important in the end because Edward's team was about to lose 2 rounds in a row due to some funky boosts from Team Maikelele, and that would not have been what they were looking for. But Edward does make that lurk work, and he's been insistent on trying to make that work throughout the whole half. And actually, to be fair to him, he is a top fragger on his team, so he's been doing rather well, leading by example, as the old saying goes.
That's how we like it, mate. That's how we like it. Hopefully back into the action shortly here, folks. Do bear with us, you know. Wouldn't be a tournament without technical issues, really. There's always something. These dang PCs. Just like
Indeed.
our version of getting an injury or whatever, you know? Or yellow flag or whatever. Every competition kind of has something that gets in the way from time to time.
Yes. Apparently this is a TeamSpeak problem, so we'll get that figured out soon.
That should be fine then.
Not too long.
Worst case scenario on that one is a nice little server change. I'm sure these guys have got plenty on the Rolodex.
Indeed. We're back underway again already. What's the strat? Scriv, what are you calling in a Legends tournament right now?
That's a B-rush spawn right there.
Definitely for Maikelele.
Yeah, I was going to say Maikelele is pretty far ahead. But of course they're not going to do that, right? Because they're smart. But that's what I'd be calling. And I'd do the old classic, mate. The old matchmaking classic where you turn around. The first guy turns around. So they can't headshot you very easily.
Yes, true.
That one's a very cheesy one that often annoys your opponent. It is going to be straight up mid, though, and a big scrap once again in the pistol. They do love the fight. They do love the Julies. And so do I. Going to get in towards this A bomb site. Bomb should be planted pretty easily. Maybe even 4 short, but that's where the boys are coming from. But look at the cowboy as he finds one. Leaves it down to Dem QQ, who's not ready for Rollin to be so close. That looked a little difficult there, but all the same, he will indeed get it. And Maikelele, 2 for 2 on the pistols.
Indeed, that's the perfect start. And I actually quite like the strategy as well. Have Maikelele just running straight toward B tunnels. He had the spawn for it to get there as quick as possible, and then went straight through lower to join up with the rest of his team. Edward couldn't handle it, unfortunately. Great start. Team Maikelele looking to keep their 100% record in this event intact at the moment, looking for a 3-0. Edward, I would say, are probably still in prime position to qualify for playoffs, being 3-1 as they are, but still, you never know. Some wacky situations could happen with the round difference if they're very, very unlucky. We'll have to figure it out later. And then, of course, the first of our BO1s today. The last air BO1s. And they've decided to hold W on the following round as well to stop these Deagles and Scouts causing any issues. It's going to be 11-6 coming in.
So yeah, the CT side immediately going to have to hit the ground running. Something that'll definitely apply, right? The money is the great equalizer in this game, and I'm sure you and I have witnessed many, many times. You lose the pistol, you lose that first rifle on the CT side, and you are just playing a constant battle of trying to keep up with the cash. So really important that they get the rifle round. Maybe as well some decent damage, take an AK out of the next round, because indeed they have saved the weapon to cross. I think that's the first save that we've seen, actually. So there you go, big up.
Yeah, we've actually saved a round. Incredible.
Kind of have to sometimes, so that's fair.
Yeah, we see a lot of them on maps like DUST2, of course, as well. Probably B site, maybe the hardest site to retake in all of CSGO, I would say. Of course, you've got Inferno. Both of them are pretty difficult, but B site DUST2, even with the change of doors that came in about a year or so ago now. Actually, probably even more than a year ago or so at this point. Time goes past quickly. But yeah, it's oh, dink comes through that. Pretty tasty. But yeah, that's been a long time now. That's been the case, and I feel like it hasn't really changed much, unfortunately. The changes that have been made to Dust 2, in my opinion, haven't really altered much about how the map is played at all, apart from the fact that, you know, you can get the CTs down into lower a bit quicker.
I do like the subtle changes to some of the older maps, though. It just spices it up enough when we're complaining about them getting stale or whatever. Dust 2 is just the one where, sort of fundamentally, you know, that's kind of cool on Mirage, but yeah, for Dust 2, it does feel like the general design of the map. But you're in an awkward spot, mate. It is the map. Everybody knows Dust 2, even people who don't play Counter-Strike.
Exactly. Can't really go wild with it, can you?
It's just part of the gamer code, isn't it, really?
Yeah.
Alright, so we're definitely dragging this one out on the Maikelele side of things with the executes that they've been working on. Very nice. What a boost, we've got the smoke. Look at this.
Lovely.
Isn't this fantastic? I would say they have perhaps shown their hand a bit too early, as it is only...
Oh!
It is only against, you know, that saved over half by. But we'll see. Maybe they can pull it out in the next round. Like I said, pressure is very much on Team Edward. They're already 6 rounds behind, so we need a pretty stellar CT rifle buy to come in, a few strung together. The pressure is on.
Yeah, I'm loving the boosts coming in from both sides, it has to be said, so far. But I feel like definitely it's been Team Maikelele that's been very innovative throughout this game so far with their boosts. One's on CT and T side, proving pretty sick for some opening picks. Edward going aggressive towards short, looking for an opening find, and he does get that opening find. Can he strafe around the angle? He can. He can retreat, but Maikelele has a Mac 10 and will rush straight through the defensive utility. Boris tries to catch Warrior 2K off guard, but that's not going to happen. So 4v3 for Team Edward.
An awkward molly for Bondic. Try and play above this smoke. Surely they've got to know where he's at. Yeah, and it doesn't quite work. Oro, though, on that AWP, drops another. So they're sticking with the man advantage. Bomb going to go down. 3 from short. No kid available, so they have to take it nice and quick. I like the move as well. Let's get the long control. They do indeed, but Waro is on the way. I'm not sure they're really going to be expecting him too much, and indeed he takes one, distracts the other. And there you are. We wanted to see some substantial rifle play. It's in very quickly. And Edward move up to 7.
Here we go. There's a chance now for a little mini comeback. Of course, bomb plant coming in for Team Maikelele still means that they are very much healthy economically, but this is an important kickoff, and you never know. We've seen some comebacks happen in our games that we've watched so far. No overtimes, though. I think you're right in saying there's been no overtimes as of yet in this event, so you want to see some at some point. Some longer matches to drag out the schedule a little bit, make production start to feel tired, give them a proper day's work, you know. Why did you shoot the floor? Where to boost, maybe? I think so. There we are. Stand there, peasant, right now, or I'm going to shoot you myself.
Ross. Oh, lovely stuff. Bit of a slow move into the round, but he's entered in. He's looking crisp. He's looking good, isn't he? Jackie gonna lose his fight as well. Oh, not like this. This is really, you know, the sort of worst case scenario. To be honest, MQ will find a trade out, but it's not enough, is it? 4v2.
It's not.
Someone's got to pop off here. Is it the big man Waro? We'll see. That bomb is creeping into the upper tunnels, which would be the move right now. A small fake flash at short as well, but Waro's not really buying it. All the same, 4v2 re-entry to this B-bomb site just doesn't happen, to be honest.
it's a perfect play from Team Maikelele there. Patience, looked for the information, found it, and chose the correct site. What do you think it must be like for a player like Jakey, for example, who's one of the young guns in this tournament, and you get wide swung headshot by Devilwalk, who is one, older significantly, two, currently a coach. I don't know. I feel like it's a little bit of a sort of the old guard saying, "Hold on, boys, we're still here. We can still destroy you."
I feel as well you got to sort of keep it together. I thought you were going to go to like a different angle where, they have to be a bit careful, these players that are maybe in more active teams, to sort of... Oh, nice
job, Boris.
Actually, pretty massive that he's able to take them all down. But yeah, I mean, you have to keep your cool head and not expect... Because I get this a bit when I sort of play a bit of matchmaking or whatever, right? And obviously... not to the highest level. You kind of try and apply things from the pro level, but it's not really going to work because the game just functions totally differently and they don't listen to the rules or whatever, like the enemies especially. So I think it's a similar sort of thing. I feel like getting banged by Devilwalk's like, alright, fair enough. But I'd say it's more on the team level where it's like, you have to be careful not to, not to get a bit annoyed at your teammates for being a bit silly or whatever.
It's all for a bit of fun. There's money on the line, of course, but it's all for a bit of fun.
I don't know, I guess not conventional, let's not say silly, but, conventional high-level team play, right? Even if you are only a top 100 team in the world or whatever, it's still going to be a very different environment.
Exactly. And of course, I think maybe for Team Edward, as we mentioned earlier, the fact that they're currently at a 3-1 record would be very unlikely if... they missed out on playoffs. Maybe they're just comfortable with giving a team like Team Maikelele a bit of a help. You never know. But it's very obvious that Team Maikelele are the better team, just full stop, in this game. So they deserve this victory if they are to pull it through. 14-7. Boris has been absolutely brilliant. Every time I've ever watched him, whether it's been on Endpoint or any mixed teams that he's played on, he's just been lights out. It was him and Nertz, wasn't it? An Endpoint. That was a fantastic duo. And, even without his mate Boris, Nertz is playing very well on that roster. Had some great performances against the likes of Na'Vi, for goodness sake. So, an exciting one for the future.
Team Maikelele on the brink here. Devilwalk finding another frag. This guy is gaming. That's a B kill as well. So the mid to B split, which maybe wasn't the full-on idea, comes in. Edward going to get ruined. And Maikelele looking loose, looking fluid on this T side, right? Really solid stuff. And it seems like their comms are pretty clean, actually. Because they are indeed working very well together, especially in the mid-round. They find that opening pick or two, and they can just crunch and collapse, and it's so good.
This is very simply a magnificent performance so far. Unfortunately for Edward, some of his youngsters haven't delivered so far. So I know it's a bit early in the morning for them, as you mentioned. Gamer hours, maybe the young guns are a little bit tired.
I don't know.
Who knows?
A couple hours ahead of us, dude.
True. Very good point.
I don't know if they've got that
Very good point. Can't assume the UK time zone comes in for everyone. Jakey just hit 3 AWP headshots, by the way. So that's total about what? Is it usually like 410 damage or something for a headshot? So we've just done like 1,250 damage almost in 3 shots. That's a lot of damage!
Not bad at all. Well,
sure,
this is looking not bad for Team Maikelele. Look, man, that's one for your highlight reel, you know what I'm saying, but indeed. 8 in a row required to take us to overtime. So Team Maikelele, you would say this is in a position where they should be picking up a clean victory. We'll see.
And stay unbeaten.
Not super fast. Yeah, and that's true, actually. Yeah, looking very formidable. We got to keep an eye on them because they are a team that have only indeed won and played 2 games. This looks to be their 3rd win, but not 100% solid just yet. Edward with the fast cat is going to find himself a frag. So we're 5 on 4. Miles is waiting for this smoke to go down so he can get his own smoke out.
I'd be scared of Boris in any situation, to be honest. He's alive, there's still a chance, and look at that. Edward gets timinged horribly on short, unfortunately for him. And they've just managed to split into the A bomb site instantly. Bomb down very quickly as well at 15-7. This one could be all she wrote. Boris will get taken down on short though. The big man has been stopped. So they do have a 4v3 retake coming in here. Warrior 2K has utility, has a kit as well. 2 grenades available to laden this bomb site with damage. Even an incendiary possible as well to burn out the goose position, but in the end Warrior 2K just holds for Devil Walk. And a nice long range tap coming in as well. Warrior 2K is the player with the kit, should be the one to go for the defuse. I think they know that, but they have time anyway, so all is good. And that will keep Team Edward alive for a little while longer.
Alright, I mean, a fair retake, isn't it? I mean, it's exactly what I was talking about, where it's like, look, man, you don't have a lot of time on that CT side. You're 9-6, you lose the pistol, you can't really put anything up. I would have maybe argued don't force and go for an early rifle, just to give yourself, you know, that extra round of breather. But, you know, they go for the force, they lose it. Don't really do too much in those early rounds, which is fair. That is indeed how it goes after the pistol off. But when that first rifle comes out, they don't find a lot, and it has cost them massively. So we're starting to see some substantial stuff, but probably as we have Maikelele looking a little bit complacent as a squad. Or are they? Look at these kills.
Or are they?
Back into a 3-on-3, and all of a sudden it is opened up again. The AWP looking good, and he's already down in pit. Warrior wasn't ready for that, and now all of a sudden they've got the man advantage, in fact.
Incredible. Could this be where it ends for Team Edward? Can Maikelele keep 100% record intact? There's a gap in the smoke, but it's baited out very smartly there by Team Maikelele. Mollies are being smoked everywhere, but Jakey's been taken out, and it's all down to DemQ, and he'll be found by Maikelele as well. What a very beautifully clean performance that was from Team Maikelele. He played well, Boris played insane.